Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 8.2 Notes, Day 1 video. That's right, number 2. So if you are stumbling upon this on accident, we already did the first page, okay? So flip over to the back. So it says to rewrite each equation into vertex form by completing the square, then graph the parabola, okay? So if you need to go back to look at the other steps, I highly recommend doing that, okay? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to label our A, B, and C, okay? So A is 1, B is 10, and C is 16, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this, and then we're going to move that C off to the side. Okay, and then we've got a couple blanks that we're going to fill in. All right, and the way to fill in those blanks is to do B divided by 2, oh, not to the 5th power, squared. Okay, so what's 10 divided by 2? 5. Okay, so if we want to do it a step at a time, 5 squared and 5 squared is 25. So I'm going to add up, sorry. So our next step would be y equals the x squared plus 10x, and this is where we add the 25. And then off to the side over here, we have that plus 16, and then I'm going to subtract the 25. Now, the reason why we do that is we want to keep our equation balanced, okay? I'm not really changing anything because I'm adding 25 and subtracting 25 at the exact same time, okay? Now, the first part we have to factor. So, off to the side here, I want to think of what numbers multiply to get to 25 and add to get to 10. What are those? Yeah, isn't it 5 times, yeah, 5 times 5 is 25, and 5 plus 5 is 25. So that means that new part is going to be x plus 5 times x plus 5. Okay? So this part right here turned into that. Okay? And now we just worry about the outside. I have positive 16 minus 25, which gives us negative 9. And now the last part is to put it into vertex form. Okay, that x plus 5 is getting repeated. So we have x plus 5 squared minus 9. Okay, so that negative 9 just came down, and that x plus 5 times x plus 5 turned into the x plus 5 squared. So you can kind of see our progression as we go through everything. Okay, so our final answer is the x plus 5 squared minus 2. This is our vertex form. That's what it's saying. It's saying put the equation into vertex form. Okay, there it is. So let's go ahead and graph. Now remember, what drives us is we need the vertex. Okay, so it's the opposite of 5, which is negative 5, and then negative 9. So negative 5, negative 9. Right away, I'm going to graph that. There's my negative 5, negative 9. And then I'm going to do my axis of symmetry here, because it goes straight through, and that's going to cut our graph in half. And then I know I go 2 above and 2 below. So negative 6 and negative 7, and then negative 4 and negative 3. Okay, and how do I get those other points? Well, yes, you could go through and plug everything in into the y equals x plus 5 squared minus 9. You can do that by hand, or just turn on your graphing calculator and type that equation into your y equals. And that's what I'm going to do as soon as this loads up. Okay, so that was, our equation was x plus 5 squared minus 9. Okay, my vertex was at negative 5, 9, so I want to make sure I can see those points. Negative 5, 9, and then we have negative 6, and that's negative 8. Negative 7 was at negative 5, and then those points just repeat down here. Okay? And now I'm going to graph. So there's my negative 5, negative 6, negative 8. And then I am at negative 3, negative 5, which gives me negative 7, negative 5. And then we talked about yesterday in class how we want to make sure you graph through the x-axis. Okay? This isn't asking us for our x and y intercepts, but just make sure you can see the intercepts. Okay, let's do it again. Number 4. So, step 1. A, B, C. What do we have? Yeah, A is 1, B is negative 12, and C is 30. Okay, so step 1, all we do is x squared minus 12x, and I'm going to move that plus 30 over, so we've got those spaces to fill in. Okay, so to fill in those spaces, I have to take b divided by 2 and square it. Negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6, and negative 6 squared is, yep, 36. Okay, so our next step would be the x squared minus 12x. That's where we're adding the 36. And then this is our work that's off to the side, the positive 30 minus 36. So now we have the two parts. And then the yellow, this is the one that we factor. Okay, so off to the side, you're thinking of what numbers multiply to get to negative 36 and add to get to negative 12. So if you need to go off to the side to write down all the factors, because I know there's a lot of factors of 36. There's 1 in 36, there's 2 in 18, there's 3 in 12, there's 4 in 9, and there's 6 in 6. And the combination that works is 6 and 6. Oh, sorry, that should have been a positive 36, guys. Hopefully you're yelling at me through the video. Okay. So the combination that works is 6 and 6. But look at the bottom. It adds to negative 12. So negative 6 and negative 6. And then it works for both cases. Okay. Now, the only reason I've been able to do the shortcut is why. What did I just highlight? Look in our last example too. What does A equal? Yeah, A equals 1. So that's when I'm able to go and say, okay, that's x minus 6 and x minus 6 instead of splitting the middle term. Okay? So we have x minus 6 times x minus 6, and then that's our yellow part that we just factored. And then the blue part on the outside, 30 minus 36 is negative 6. last step. We get x minus 6 squared minus 6. And there we go. We are in vertex form. All right. I want to see if you guys can do the table of values by yourself. So see if you can figure out what the vertex is and then fill the rest of that in all on your own. Go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, so there you go. There's your table. So what I did once again is I wrote my equation in here, the x minus 6 in parentheses squared minus 6 second graph. And if you're looking from our last one, if you were like me, sorry, you had to move this a lot because I think we were all the way up here. So that's what the up and down arrows are for. You have to come and find your vertex if you want to do it the easy way. Okay, so now that we've got all of our points right there, we can graph. So at 6, -6, there we go. And right away, I'm going to draw my axis of symmetry. Okay, and then let's do the other points. So we got 5, -5, and 6, -5, and then 8, -2, which gives us 4, -2. And then from there, I'm going to graph. Sorry guys, my computer's making my pen jump a little bit, so it looks a little weird. Okay, so remember, don't forget to add the arrows and then go through the x-axis. All right, number 5. You want to see how much you guys can do on your own? Let's see if you can do step 1 and step 2. So label everything and try to figure out what the b divided by 2 squared equals, okay? So step 1 and step 2. Pause the video and good luck. Okay, so there's my work so far. -8 divided by 2, if you guys can follow along, I'm right here. -8 divided by 2, we get -4, and -4 squared, we get 16. Okay? So here are my two parts, the x squared minus 8x plus 16, and then the plus 15 minus 16. So this is what we want to factor. And once again, our leading coefficient, the a squared, is, that's right, 1. Thank you. So now we can factor it, okay, and do that shortcut. So what two numbers multiply to get to 16, but add to get to -4? Or not -4, -8. Wonder if anyone caught the hint there. Yeah, it's going to be 4 and 4. But it's not going to be +4 because at the bottom it's going to be -4. Okay? Remember, it has to work in both situations. All right? So that breaks down to x minus 4 times x minus 4. So that's our factored part, that yellow part. And then the blue part, positive 15 minus 16 gives us -1. So what do we got? What's our final answer? Y equals what? Yeah, x minus 4 squared minus 1. Okay. Now, if you want to do the rest of this on your own, pause the video. Okay, now for everyone else, let's just go through everything. So remember that your vertex, we take the opposite, and this stays the same. So we are at 4, -1. Okay? Two numbers below, two numbers above. And to get all of those, I'm going to my y equals, clearing out that last equation, x minus 4 squared minus 1. I'm going to my graph. I need my vertex of 4, and this, I only have to move up 1 to get all of those numbers. Okay? So at 2, 3, so 2, 3, 3, 0, and then 0 and 3. Okay? Remember that those guys should match. All right, and the last thing we need to do is to draw our graph. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. 4, -1, there I am. And then I'm gonna draw my axis of symmetry. Hopefully my computer will be a little bit more cooperative and help me draw a straight line. Okay, and then I'm at 5, 0, and 3, 0. And then 6, 3, and 2, 3. Okay, make sure that's curved at the bottom. And then always add your arrows. Okay. Well, guys, your homework, 8.2 practice. This would be practice A. So, completing the square, there are only 1 and 2 of those. And then the rest of those is stuff that we've already done. Finding the vertex, and then graphing, 1 in standard form and 1 in vertex form. Okay? Just guys, the key thing that we want to stress, the only reason that we're able to do this shortcut right here is you have to pay attention to what your leading coefficient is, okay? When that is a 1, that's when we're able to do this shortcut, okay? So if you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra Unit 8.2 Notes, Day 1, Video 2. Thanks for watching.